All right, guys, I got a quick semiconductor update for you as there is a lot moving and shaking right now for the chip makers, primarily due to geopolitics. I got you. Here are a couple of game notes related to 4 key semiconductor stocks in the headlines of this week. Let's start with 2 names that we love following at Wall Street Game Notes. They are Nvidia and AMD. Both of these companies have been unable to sell to the Chinese market due to strict export control laws. It seems like as of this week, the Trump administration is willing to lift those export controls in exchange for 15% of the revenues generated by the Chinese market. But what does this mean? Let's break it down by company. First, Nvidia. On the product side, it is all about the H20 GPU. This is part of the Hopper series, a slightly less sophisticated model than the current Blackwell series, and is what they sell in China. To give you perspective and some ballpark numbers on the revenue, they're looking at about $32 billion of annual sales for these GPUs in China. Assuming the 15% cut for the US government, they're looking at about $27.2 billion in take home. We will hear more from Nvidia though in just a couple of weeks at the end of August as they are due to report quarterly earnings. Of course, Wall Street Game Notes will have a full earnings preview and debrief around that time. Let's jump over to AMD. On the product side for AMD, it is all about the MI308 chip. That is what they sell in China. Similar to Nvidia, it is a slightly older, less sophisticated model than their MI350 or MI400 series that they're currently working through. To give you perspective on the revenue, it is about a $3.2 billion revenue number for those chips in China. And after the 15% to the US government, they're looking at about a $2.72 billion revenue number. Last thing, and thank you for tuning in, I want to quickly pivot over to Micron and then Intel. Micron, they raised their guidance for the current quarter by $500 million, going from $10.7 billion to $11.2 billion, and the stock has jumped as a result. They are looking at strong execution and favorable pricing conditions for their DRAM products. That is good news as AI investors, as DRAM is core to the AI revolution. On the Intel side, CEO Lip-Bu Tan has met with the Trump administration after being called out for having potential conflicts of interest. It seems like most of that drama is now behind us. That is good news for Intel shareholders, but they still have a long road ahead of them in the AI and chipmaking space. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all in the Wall Street Game Notes community. I will have continued updates for you on these companies and more, as that is core to what we focus on at Wall Street Game Notes. Be good out there.